Walk Our Song, 6 foot, 7 foot. Marlon Wayne's my favorite song. You know, when I play it in my car, it's super loud.
Guns it. Sanders in a pocket. Oh, what a catch. Travis Hunter, give him the Heisman now.
My job is to come out and be Travis Hunter, come out and play how they envision me to play and, you know, exceed all their expectations. I mean, in the pros, it's a lot different. You know, all I got is football. In college, I had to manage school, football, and, you know, personal life. But, you know, I had a good team around me, so in college, it was kind of easy to me. You know, I pretty much, you know, focused on football, but I did my schoolwork. And, you know, in the pros, it's going to be the same way for me, but I don't have schoolwork, so I can go my 24 hours and nothing but football.
Goal, here's McCord, trying to win it for Syracuse, gives it to Allen. Allen is stopped by Woodard, still going, no! He gets through! Allen gets through! He wins the game!
Look out! There goes two! No flags! Touchdown!
With the 200th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Rayon Lane III, defensive back, Navy.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Mike DeRocco, and Dylan Denmark.
That's right, D-Rock in the house right there. Little pre-vacation visit with the fellas here on Jaguars Today. Tony, good morning to you first and foremost.
Good morning.
As always. Somebody asked yesterday, have you guys worked together long? As we were doing a photo shoot, we were like, damn, you know? It's been a little while.
Yep.
Bro, other than my lovely bride and my son, well, even longer than my son, you're like the longest relationship I've had. Yeah. So there you go.
I remember when Colin was coming into the world.
I do too. And people remember I had his baby pictures up on my office door at the old place. And still, it's probably just a thing, you know. Yeah, somebody, how old's your kid now? Got to be like 12 now. No. Kid's turning 21 in a couple weeks, so that's what's going on there. D-Rock, good morning to you. How are you?
Oh, doing well. How are you guys?
Are you? I don't know. I feel a little weird today. I just feel like today's going to be a weird show. I don't know if that's the case. D-Rock's going on vacation, and he is hoping fervently that no Jaguar breaking news happens in the next, 24 hours, D-Rock? Like, what's your cutoff that if something did go down, that ESPN would, like, if it was big enough, if Travis Hunter signed a contract.
We don't generally write stories on
that's what I'm saying.
First-round picks signing contracts.
I'm not going to say something massive and negative. Okay. I'm just trying. You know, Hick brought that up because I mentioned to him that you are very fingers crossed having a quiet next 24 hours or so, and then it's vacation time for you.
First rule of impending vacation is we don't talk about impending vacation delays.
We have no rules here. Come on. What's the plans? What are you and the lovely wife doing?
Yeah, we're not doing too much. Just some small trips this year.
You jam it all together? You take your whole year's vacation?
She works in a school system, so I can never take spring break week off with her because that's free agency, which is around here Super Bowl week, we like to call it, for this franchise. So I usually just ram it all in after mini camp and just before training camp, and then we have 3 weeks to hang out.
Whatever works, man. Denmark, good morning to you.
Yep, good morning.
You called me Dempsey this morning. Did you notice that?
Well, I was going to say Mike, but
I think it's the first time I've ever heard you call me by my last name. It's not that uncommon. I call you Denmark. I call you Dylan. Whatever. I don't call Tony Smith a whole lot. Everyone refers to Mike as D-Rock. But
I say Mike D every now and then.
Yeah, I get a lot of Michael out of you as well. But anyway, how are things? Everything
good, man. I was shocked you didn't watch that college baseball game last night.
I did not.
It was excellent theater in the ninth inning.
No, baseball's I've kind of soured on baseball right now. Not a big fan of baseball.
I gave up on the Braves 2 weeks ago.
This week, I don't know, Tony. Are the Braves are they still in it? Are they realistically?
Yeah, I mean they got an opportunity to sweep the Mets today in the first series they've played against the Mets all season, right? So it's not like anything's over, and they're about 6 games back in the wild card.
Right.
That's not insurmountable.
That's not insurmountable.
No, and Chris Sale finally looks like Chris Sale. The Cy Young guy that they had last year. He's been that guy for the last 3 or 4 starts, and that would be a big help. We'll see where they wind up.
All right. Well, there you go. That's what we discuss when we don't have a lot of breaking Jaguar news, at least yet. to discuss here with Mike DiRocco. Today, we're going to get into your favorite offseason personnel move that the Jaguars have made, not named Travis Hunter. In other words, we're not talking about James Gladstone, Tony Baselli, Liam Cohen, any of the coaching staff. This is player procurement, mainly. Some people have suggested their favorite move, Tony, is simply Eric Armstead moving inside the defensive tackle. I'll allow it.
Sure.
Right? If you want to look at it that way, if you think it's going to have the biggest impact. But that's what we're looking for today. Which move outside of Travis Hunter being traded up for and ultimately drafted by the Jaguars do you think will have the biggest and most telling impact on the 2025 ball club? Apparently, I've forgotten my password or something is screwed up. Can't get logged into anything this morning. I'm sure that won't be an issue for me.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on mine to heat up, too.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes.
I'm all good.
Absolutely. You're good? As long as you're good, D-Rock, that's really all that matters.
Correct.
Correct. Look, we're all in it for ourselves to a large degree. Mike, yesterday we were talking about records that could fall for the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? The single season marks. And there's some that are more likely than others, but we picked 4 of them yesterday. Touchdown passes in a single season, 35 by Blake.
Right? That could fall this year.
That could fall this year. Now, look, we agree that none of them are going to fall.
Okay.
Or likely to fall. But no, which one? If one of them
the highest
were going
likelihood we put somewhere in the 30s.
Yeah, it's like 30% chance. Yeah. But out of the touchdown passes being 35, but by the way, Trevor's second with 25.
Yeah.
In a season. So that's a huge gap between the two. But Baker Mayfield did improve his career best by 13 last year.
Through 41
touchdowns, right? Will it be touchdown receptions? Brian Thomas had 10, which equaled the second best mark in franchise history. Allen Robinson's 14 touchdown season was the high there. Yeah. Will it be defensive interceptions? Rasheed Mathis, once upon a time, had 8. I believe I forgot. Somebody mentioned I shorted A.J. Boye from the 2017 season. They said he had 6. You know what it was? I was looking at guys, Tone, that had at least 9 in a Jaguar uniform and then looking at their best season, so it would have been easy to overlook AJ in that category. And then sacks, 17.5, which was just set 2 years ago. If one of those records was going to fall, which one would surprise you the least?
Which one would surprise me the least?
Which one do you think is the most likely to go down?
Probably the touchdown catch record, because I think Brian Thomas Jr., even with the addition of De'Ami Brown and Travis Hunter, is still like WR1, big-time playmaker. They're running the offense through him. So I think that's the one that's most likely out of all those to fall to me. Or Travis Hunter could set that one and the interception record in the same year. Who knows? But no, I think the wide receiver touchdown mark.
That came in second. We actually thought it was the sack mark. I mean,
really?
Yeah. The same guy who just said it is still on the team. Hey, he did it. It's not like he did it 6 years ago. He did it 2 years ago.
No, but he's unfortunately, that is the outlier season.
Okay.
In his career to this point, unfortunately.
Yeah. I can get that, but he has done it.
He has, correct.
Right. I mean, we know he's capable of doing it because he just did it a couple of years. And it just surprised us that got the fewest votes out of anything.
Yeah, I still can't believe it.
Because it's one that actually happened.
And all you got to do is break it by a half.
Right. You got to have – now, obviously, I think interception's really tough. Not many guys get 9 interceptions in a season, But anyway, touchdown passes got nearly 46% of the vote. They think that's number one. I think don't you think that's got to be the Liam Cohen effect? Like that, you look at what he did with that offense in Tampa, and they have good pieces, but it did take off to a much higher level than it had been. That passing game last year, and some of it is faith in Trevor, but I think that this to me is more of an indication that people think that Liam Cohen is the elixir that's going to come in and get him headed in the right direction.
Now, yes, I agree. The Liam Cohen factor is a large part of it, which if they can also run the ball, which again goes back to the Liam Cohen factor after what he did in Tampa Bay, I don't know that I can see. if the conversation was Trevor 30 touchdown pass, surpassing 30 touchdown passes, then I would be much more on board with that than him throwing 36. That's just a lot for what he's done in his career, and still don't know if he can stay healthy for a full season because he hasn't in any of the last 2 years. And man, that's just 36 TD passes.
I'm with you. That would have been third on our list, but I think it's a lot more likely that happens than somebody gets 9 interceptions for this defense.
Agree.
But we liked it. Sacks, BTJ to challenge the touchdown mark, and then touchdown passes in that order.
See, I would go BTJ, TD mark. Believe it, even after what I just said, Trevor over, 36 touchdown passes. Then I would say the sack record, and then I would say the interceptions.
Well, majority agreed with you.
Well, of course.
Like nearly 80% went with one of the 2 offensive marks going down. And I think that is an indication that you feel like you got an offensive-minded head coach. Play calling's in better hands now. It's a system that we've seen work at the NFL level, even if it was only for a year. There's some similarities in personnel. I'm not saying, like, Mike Evans is well established ahead of Brian Thomas Jr., but I think they're both alpha receivers, and I think Travis Hunter has a chance to be that eventually. We'll get in some comments from James Gladstone on SiriusXM this week about potential Travis Hunter usage, because everything Travis Hunter is like a lightning rod for discussion around these parts. So we'll get into that today. But really today, we'd like to hear from you on what you think, because it's wide open here. There's so many. I think it's tough to even figure out what the best offensive personnel move that the Jaguars did this year. I think there are a lot of good candidates in that regard. It could be a draft pick. Obviously, with the exception of Travis Hunter, they signed a lot of free agents. They made moves on defense, not nearly as many, but definitely some distinct ones where guys are going to be stepping into starting roles. So that's what we're looking for from you today. Other than the addition of Travis Hunter, which all-season personnel move, we're not counting coaching staff and or front office, by the Jaguars will have the most impactful or will be the most impactful for 2025.
To me, it was a no-brainer on the one.
All right, hold your thought.
I'm not gonna tip it.
All right, hold your thought on that.
That was my no-brainer one. Came to mind.
Hold your thought of your vacation will be delayed. All right,
I'm just like
all the mojo is hanging in the balance right now. I know you are.
Just done with you.
I know you are. D-Rock's kidding. We're in a good place right now. D-Rock and I are golf buddies. We play bad golf together. Generally, that's what we do.
Good time playing bad golf.
Good time playing bad golf. That's
Absolutely.
what we do. All right. Folks can get in today at 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines, and also same number, 641-1010, for the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Hit us up today on social media as well. If you're not hopping in the YouTube virtual studio chat, you can hit us up at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at ESPN DeRocco, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Y'all ain't that good in New York.
Man, back to that again, huh? You're using this as a multi-sport drop at the moment. All right. Call me Mr. Dempsey from now for the rest of the show,
Yes,
please.
sir.
Thank you very much. We don't have that kind of relationship here, by the way. If you couldn't hear it, Dylan was laughing off mic just a minute ago. All right, so we'll get into personnel additions. We'll hear from James Gladstone coming up. We'll take your calls, and we'll talk Jaguar football, where things stand heading into the big summer break with Mike DeRocco, who is also heading into the big summer break. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Mike DeRocco, and Dylan Denmark on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. I love to recommend the best companies. Consumer Reports will tell you that Pella is number one in all the major window categories. I'll tell you that my house looks great and it feels great, more energy efficient since I switched to Pella. Replaced all my windows, my sliding glass door. Right now, you can do the same, whether it's a project that size or something smaller. Get 0% financing for 60 months. That's right, 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Get a free consultation online at PellaJacks.com or visit the showroom on Phillips Highway. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
Jaguars Today, Thursday.
Brought to you by Cannons of Jacksonville. 1010XL takes you behind the microphone.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
No, what are you
you doing?
What are you doing?
No, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Mornings on 1010XL.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
When it comes to my opinion, I love dropping the hammer. I'm Hayes Carlyon. Listen for Hammer Time with Hayes weekdays on The Frangie Show.
Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Jaguars Today.
You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Soft takes are boring. That's why I drop the hammer on The Frangie Show. I'm Hayes Carlyon. Listen for Hammer Time with Hayes weekday afternoons on 1010XL.
Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Kia on Atlantic.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
Jacksonville, you know a good defense wins games, and a good fence protects your home. Frank Frangie here. Coil Fencing has been around the block since 1927. Literally, they've probably fenced it too. From tough chain link to sleek aluminum fences your HOA will love, Coil is the name to trust. Nearly a century strong and still standing tall. Call Coil today. You can trust them. Call 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
At
Tucker Equipment Rental in Neptune Beach, you just don't rent quality machines, you rent quality customer service. Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Dave. Tucker Equipment Rental has been supplying Jacksonville with equipment and event rental for over 50 years.
From commercial and homeowner projects, we've got what you need: lifts, dirt equipment, and landscape equipment.
And don't forget about event rentals, from festivals to weddings to backyard barbecues.
Local, knowledgeable, and always ready to help.
Tucker Equipment Rentals.
You need it, we've got it, come see us.
Hi folks, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. 1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Denmark, any particular reason?
No, it's something different.
All right. It's fine with me.
Nope.
I don't think anybody... I'm sure there are people that hate Elvis. Which I shouldn't say that. Of course there are.
I don't know how.
Somebody hates
but okay.
everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they just think he's... the fat Vegas Elvis and was that way his whole life. Who knows? Not everybody likes everything, man. And
even fat Vegas was pretty talented.
He was pretty talented, but like what you like. It's all good. So there you have it. All right. James Gladstone, we're going to hear from him coming up here in a moment. Was on Sirius XM this week talking about Travis Hunter. D-Rock, do you get the sense, we talked about this earlier this week a little bit, that like people just, you can hear what James Gladstone's saying and people just still are not 100% buying in. Like they think in the back of their mind that, I know they're saying about Travis Hunter, but in the end, it's not really going to go. Like I saw the piece, we're looking at, SI did a piece, right? Not as good as ESPN would have done it, by the way. But SI did a piece on 32 teams in 32 days. They did their Jaguar piece, and they cited an unnamed, former NFL head coach, I think it was. And it said, Hunter loves offense more, and when the going gets tough, that's what he's going to choose. Like when it's too tough to juggle both, he's just going to choose offense. First of all, why do you assume that? I mean, offense
more natural as a defensive back,
right? I mean, that's by trade. That's what he came up as. That's what he was. Number one recruit in America was as that. I'm sure he played both in high school.
Yeah.
But was listed as defensive back. People thought that would be his position. And then Deion gave him the opportunity to play both ways. But I do feel like, people are just like, yeah, I know what they're saying, but come on, it's not really going to go that way. Do you get that sense?
Yeah, you know why that is.
Why is that?
Because it's the Jags. If he were playing for the Steelers and Tomlin were saying
the smartest thing in history?
Yeah, they'd be like, oh, yeah, we got it.
I'm Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
I mean,
like there's Jags.
Mike Tomlin gets it.
Yeah, exactly. It's because he's playing for the Jags.
You think it's that simple? Huh?
I absolutely do, because there's a lack. First of all, there's a lack of general respect for the franchise. Not necessarily by other franchises and media and stuff like that. I just think around the country, nationally, the Jags are kind of viewed as like, the afterthought.
They're absolutely viewed that way.
News
no,
here
of
on
course.
That.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a joke. But, yeah, I just think first-time head coach, first-time GM, first-time EVP, even though Baselli has a ton of cred, nationally and stuff like that. I just think that if this were happening in Philly, if this were happening in Detroit, pretty much anywhere in the entire league, with maybe the exception of Tennessee and Indianapolis, maybe Carolina, you know what I mean? Some of the bottom end interest teams or struggling teams, I think that would just be, what a great idea. Of course, the Steelers are going to be the franchise that puts the two-way player out there. First guy who plays regularly on both sides of the ball since Bednarik in 1962. Absolutely, that's going to happen.
Forward-thinking organization.
Yeah, exactly. What a trend-setting organization. 10 years from now, every team's going to have a two-way player. But the Jags are doing it. No chance that's happening.
And it's not like they're taking a guy that they thought, man, we saw some traits and we could probably use them on both sides. Right? Yeah. I mean, it's like, no, we're buying a concept that's already shown itself. Now, like every other player, you could show anything you like in college and you got to start fresh in the NFL. But there's a reason we have a draft and certain guys go at the top because they've shown the ability to do certain things, and you think those are projectable. So I just do get that sense that, like, people are not...
Nobody believes it.
Quite buying it, right?
Every time I do an out-of-market radio show or I talk to somebody, that covers other teams, they're like, he's really not going to play both ways, is he? And I'm like, no, everybody's lying. Everybody's lying.
No,
it's weird.
Tony, they gave up their second rounder in the first next year to just play him as one or the other.
Now, they're obviously willing to be bold. I mean, they got a guy that may wind up being their starting free safety that is a corner by trade, right? And they were willing to go in the third round to go get Caleb Bransall. We'll see how that works out. But it is funny that everyone is basically asking, they're not really going to, no, they're not going to let Travis Hunter play offense and defense. That's crazy. Nobody would do it. It's like, they're going to. Like, until it doesn't work, they're going to.
Right. They're going to try it. Yeah. It is bizarre. Nobody believes that it's going to happen.
I can understand believing it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's not even going to happen, I don't get it. Clearly they're going to.
They're going to do it.
Of all franchises, by the way, let's take a chance. Let's be bold. And and you can argue the Jags have had more success. Like, Miami is seen as a more successful organization, haven't won a damn playoff game in over 2 decades. So what is your measure of success?
Right.
I just think Jacksonville, it's market size. It's a combination of a whole bunch of different factors that go into it.
And it's inevitable that Travis Hunter was going to land in a place that is at least more similar to Jacksonville than they are Pittsburgh. Right? Like, wherever he was going to land in this year's draft was going to be a place where when they said he's going to play both ways, there would be a lot of people that are going, now, come on. Not there. He's not playing both ways in Cleveland. Are you kidding me? Right? Like, it would be the same kind of reaction to it if it was Cleveland, I think, but it may be amplified a little bit because it is Jacksonville. It's a whole lot easier for everyone to kind of just shrug at basically anything Jacksonville does, and that makes some kind of sense, but it is silly that people are still out there going, they're not going to. They are. He's going to play both ways. Like, it's going to happen.
Yeah, at the end of the day, being excited doesn't win you football games, but I'd much rather have the excitement around the potential of this transformational player that could change the way we look at, like, maybe 10 years from now, it won't be commonplace, but maybe we'll have a half dozen guys that do it because he showed you can do that. It's like, at a certain point, man, you played basketball. If you're above a certain height, get your butt down in the paint, right? You're not shooting outside. And then now some Euros come into the league and we're like, well, wait a minute. Nobody's going to block that 6'11" dude shot from the corner. And now it's commonplace, So you still have to have the athletes that are capable of doing it.
Or he could be Shohei. And there's only one.
He could be that, right?
Like, there's only one Travis Hunter, and he's the only one that can actually do this, right? At this kind of it could turn out to be that kind of story, or it could be we get a few months into it and they say he's playing this or he's playing this. Like, that may be the way this whole thing works out, but they're going to play him on both.
That's an interesting point, though, Tone. The Shohei thing. We all play baseball coming up, right? Mm-hmm. Your number one pitcher, what did he do when he wasn't pitching? Played shortstop. Right? Generally played shortstop, right? Because he was your best athlete.
He's your best player.
And where did he bat in the lineup?
Fourth.
Somewhere in the top 4, right? Maybe he was your leadoff guy. Maybe he's your 3-hitter, whatever. He was your best freaking player. Jack Caglione pitched and hit at a pretty high level, right? I mean, I would not be surprised at all if we see more guys get the opportunity to do that.
Sure.
Why would, or even if you're not like a Shohei who could throw 100 and be a full-time starter, full-time position player when you're not pitching, guy can go to the bullpen for you or whatever. I don't know. I mean, it seems like there are a lot of guys that do that on the way up. Now, there are a lot of guys that can play football both ways up to a certain level as well.
Right.
And they're not all going to be Travis Hunter. I do wonder, like Cleveland with the whole thing, because this is a risk, right? We hope everything works out for the best. James Gladstone's going to be brilliant. Baselli, Liam Cohen, the brain trust, it's all new, so we're all optimistic about it. But there is a risk. Like, hey, we're sitting here at number 2. We could take Abdul Carter. We could take this guy that we're going to really make him the first full two-way player in 6 decades. You know what I mean? So there is some of that. I wonder if that factored in at all with Cleveland. Obviously, they had to like the package of what they got as well. They still get a top 5 pick and picked up a second and a first next year. But, we could be sitting here right now with Mason Graham. I don't know. It's hard to tell, man, because the pads aren't on yet. And
it would have been Genty.
I think you're right. I think it would have been.
It would have been
right.
Genty.
I think you're absolutely right.
Which still would have generated a little bit of
no doubt. No,
but not like where this is right now.
Because then we'd also have a 36 pick in the draft, right, on the roster right now, and we'd be looking at a whole different set of circumstances here. And then we really would be talking about, this running back room, clearly he's at the top of it. And, Travis Etienne, we'll see if he's going to be around this year. It seems more likely that he's going to be, but we'll get into that coming up as well. But when we come back, let's hear from James Gladstone on Sirius XM NFL Radio talking about Travis Hunter and his usage, or at least how he envisions it playing out. It's kind of more in the hands of Liam Cohen now, but obviously they are aligned at the hip in terms of their vision for Hunter and the rest of this team. If you want to get in today, 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines, and let us know our Chad and Sandy Real Estate question of the day today, asking you, other than the addition of Travis Hunter, which offseason personnel move, we're talking about a player acquisition, it will be the most impactful for the Jags in 2025. As we said, if you want to get a little creative, several people on their own have suggested Eric Armstead's move from end to tackle full-time, back to tackle full-time will be the most impactful. That's fine. Just let us know your thoughts. I will say this, Tone, a wide variety of options people are going with here, right? It would have been tough to do a 4-option poll. We've got so many different responses to this today. So we'll get into that as we go along as well. Mike DeRocco is here. Little pre-vacation chat with D-Rock from ESPN, a big star apparently down under as well. We'll tell you about that later on. You appeared on ESPN Australia, or at least did a piece for ESPN Australia.
Yes.
You did.
ESPN International, whatever they're calling it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It was a draft recap, just to look at some of the top players taken in the draft.
You were shocked they knew your nickname was D-Rock.
Never met the anchor, never spoken to him, never seen him. And, I was just...
You've got international appeal, D-Rock.
Yeah, okay.
You might. I don't know. Look, if you're a Jaguar fan...
I got international appeal with Stoff.
If you're in Australia... Do Australians know about Aussie Jag, Tone, do you think?
Oh, I forgot about Aussie
him?
Jag.
Right? We do have a few Aussies down there.
We do, yeah.
That are
I
big,
forgot about Aussie
big-time Jaguar proponents. So
I've got a picture on my phone with him from when he came here. I want to say in like 2018.
We did the bar down in St. Augustine. Wasn't that? Because in that year,
I took the photo with him here.
Oh, was it here? Okay.
In the studio, yeah. He was in studio with you guys for something.
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
Maybe.
I'm sure he was.
Yeah,
Craig
there's a picture
Fordham,
of me with him.
The official name of Aussie Jag.
No, it's Aussie Jag.
It's fine. That's fine. That's what he's known as, but...
I don't know anybody's real name.
All right.
On Twitter or social media? No, I don't know
There are some people whose names I don't know, and I just call them by their social media handles.
I could not tell you what... I think I could... I know it's Johnny, but Doom, I can't remember the last name.
It's not Machiavelli, I'll tell you that. All right, that's not the real last name. All right, we'll come back. Let's hear James Gladstone's comments on Sirius XM NFL Radio about the plans for Travis Hunter. And do we see eye to eye with what he is laying down right now? This is Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Debs here for Dandy Foods. Anytime is a good time for Dandy. Anytime's a good time for breakfast, right? I like breakfast any hour of the day. Doesn't like a little French toast at like 10 o'clock at night. Absolutely delicious. Maybe that's not the best for your waistline, but look, if you're just looking for something to fill you up from the breakfast menu, Dandy's got you covered. Yes, they've got French toast, peppered fried eggs, delicious bacon, and on, all kinds of options. Pop it in the microwave for 90 seconds, and you're on your way with a hot breakfast on the go. Classic line of sandwiches and subs, protein packs, light lunchtime wraps, gourmet salads. They've got veggie trays, fruit cups. little something for everybody. If you're just hungry and you're not sure what you want, I bet you Dandy has you covered with over 30 different varieties at any area gate station that you roll into. Always made with the highest quality ingredients, delivered fresh daily with great variety and keeping the prices in check. When you're hungry in Duval, folks, do what I do. Whatever it is you're hungry for, Dandy's got it. Makers of Dandy, and do it today.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Yo, E.T. here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and nonstop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head on. Throw axes at Live by Axe or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Nakama Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your cool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
The Frangie Show.
We stand for something. To those dead souls inching along the freeways in their metal coffins, we show them that the human spirit is still alive.
Afternoons. Why didn't we do this sooner? On 1010XL. Your home is more than walls and a roof. It's where you breathe, drink, and power through life. At Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to keep it all running smoothly. From clean, cool air to clean water, reliable power to expert plumbing, we do it all. For over 35 years, families have trusted Donovan to make their homes healthier, safer, and more comfortable. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing today, 904-270-COOL, where health meets home.
You're locked in to Jaguars Today Thursday with
Cannons of Jacksonville.
Hey, Hicken here, and you know I'm going to talk about skin. Yeah, it's hot outside, folks. The oven is on. Temps are in the 90s, and it's only getting hotter. I love the summer, but my skin doesn't. I do my best with dry fit shirts, big floppy hats, plenty of water. My secret weapon, though, the sunscreen. I use it regularly. Maybe you should as well. Look, I've also been seeing docs at Peaches Dermatology for years, and my skin thanks me for it. I'm telling you, it could save your life. Book your appointment today at peachesdermatology.com.
I-9 Sports is geared up for fun for kids all over the First Coast with summer and fall registration now open. Kids ages 3 to 17 can get in the gym or on the field with I-9 Sports, covering Clay, Duval, St. John's. And I-9 has all-girls flag football at Oakleaf, UNF, Fletcher, and Creekside. Plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast to take advantage of. Don't miss out. Registration now open for summer and fall at I-9 Sports. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
It's the event everyone waits for. Now at Beard's Diamonds. Buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. Now for a limited time, when you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000. Are you about to get married or been married for years thinking it's time for an upgrade? There's nothing that symbolizes your love more than the wedding band. Beard's has hundreds and hundreds of bands from top designers in white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands, pave set, eternity bands. And for men, masculine bands, wide, modern, with and without diamonds, hammered, brushed, engraved, lots of colors. Come to Beard's now and find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second one free. The big box corporate jewelry stores can't or won't do this, but Beard's can. And it's happening now through June 23rd. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss this opportunity to celebrate your eternal love with the eternal symbol. Beard's Diamonds at St. John's Town Center.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 3:20 for the latest in sports injuries. From all the big names in the game, who's MIA, who's coming back from injury. Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 3:20.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather now hot as can be, look ahead and get that backyard ready for fall with a new open air or screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are the best in the business. So if you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden Eye & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bow 9 Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Now, more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
D-Rock, I can't speak for Australia yet, but apparently Brazil has checked in, and you are big on the international scene. So Cristiano does confirm that down in South America.
I am across many times.
You're a hit. Right. Well, and we had to look.
You're an hour ahead.
We think he's an hour ahead. Yes. So
well, that's what Google said. So I'm
right. Right. I mean, Brazil's a pretty big country. They only have one time zone, or the.
Well, I just put in what time is it in Sao Paulo? Which is what
I think that's where Cristiano is, but I'd be honest. He's in Brazil. That's close enough. You know?
Where does he live? He lives in America. Oh,
one of the Americas. Yeah. He's absolutely in one of the Americas. Yeah. All right. So just confirming D-Rock's international pull right there. All right. James Gladstone, will he have the gravitational pull to be one of the next great young rising general managers? Will big think pieces be written about him in years to come, about his bold strategies? Went on SiriusXM NFL radio earlier this week and talked about why they've had Hunter, at least for now, seem to play more on the offensive side in practice.
Our understanding that Travis is most naturally comfortable, most naturally in tune on the defensive side of the ball. We wanted to load him offensively throughout this window to ensure that by the time we got to training camp, we had a runway built up on that side, because there's so much more nuance, so much more adjustments in real time on the offensive side of the ball that would require a lot more learning. So with this phase of the process sort of being rooted through that lens, that's why we wanted to put the emphasis on O, knowing that we would then trickle in the defensive participation a little bit more towards the back end of the offseason program and really as we get into training camp. I do think there's a little bit of a misconception in that it's wide receiver first, corner second, as much as it is the learning methodology of wide receiver through this phase and then continuing to trickle in more defense, since that is his primary background.
Yeah, he said himself, Travis Hunter, that stuff's easy, right? Basically, like I got that. I'm used to the concepts. Now, certainly, you don't just show up on day one and hop out there and play and integrate yourself in the
assignment stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But the skills and the things he needs to do on that side of the ball. Let's hear one more, and we'll comment on what James Gladstone had to say. Was asked how many snaps he thinks Hunter will be asked to play per game.
Time will truly tell, and I think the thing that you can, in fact, lean into at this stage is he does not tire. He has got a spark. He has got the energy, the capacity from a physical standpoint. Just to be able to do it is certainly there. It'll be in terms of one game to the next. Where does it fit? Where does it make the most sense? Certain game plans might dictate usage differently. So time will truly tell, and I don't know that one game to the next is going to be the exact same, but putting a number on it at this stage is, I think, probably premature. But look forward to seeing how it really plays itself out here and him earning his spot on both sides. Certainly going to be an opportunity for him. Got to take advantage of it here down the stretch.
All right, so Mike, we were talking before the show today, and you gathered from James Gladstone's appearance that you think maybe defense is going to be more prioritized ultimately for Travis Hunter than offense. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth.
It's kind of what he sounded like. He said there's this misconception of offense first, and that would be his primary, and he would play defense secondarily, I guess. But again, he was explaining, and this is what they told us way back when the offseason started. We are going to start him on offense and load him up there because there's more for him to absorb there than there is defensively. But I guess that kind of led us all to think, okay, he's gonna be a starting wide receiver, and he's gonna play 80% of the snaps on offense, and maybe whatever on defense. But I mean, if you kind of read between the lines there, it sounds like maybe it's more defense and not 80% on offense. But it is going to be a week-to-week thing. There's going to be weeks like week 2. If he's as good as they believe he is as a corner, in week 2, he'll be on defense a ton with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
Right.
I mean, that makes sense. So he may play less offensively. But they've got to – it's just not going to be – he's going to play X and X every week. And in week 1, he's going to play X and X. They're going to feel this thing out as it goes, because you have to figure out what he's handling mentally, what he's handling physically. And yes, he is like the Energizer Bunny. That dude can go, and he goes and goes and goes and goes. Trevor Lawrence, he's like a little kid, runs all day, never gets tired. But at some point, you know what I mean? They're going to have to rein him in on a few things.
I think, though, playing into this, when he was announced as the Jags pick, he was announced as wide receiver cornerback.
Right.
And that's the Jags' choice to list him that way, if they want to. So I think people, okay. I agree with you. Week to week, there's going to be some game plan differences, but I just think it's going to be hard on either side of the ball if you feel like he's your best option and his stamina is not causing him to need a break at that moment, to not have him out there on the field. Now, certainly in certain personnel groupings, if you're going 2 tight ends, for instance, right? It's not like De'Ami Brown's going to be an afterthought on this team. He's not automatically going to shuffle to the bench. But anytime you're in 3 wide and he's standing there with his helmet on and he's ready to go, I think that's going to be hard not to have him out on the football field.
Right, and you have to sit. One thing to take into consideration, too, is when he's off the field on offense or defense, where are they better equipped to handle that? Like, are they better equipped? To me, they're better equipped offensively with De'Ami Brown and Parker Washington. They can absorb him being off the field a little bit more, especially because of Brian Thomas Jr., than they can, I think, defensively.
You agree with that, Tone? My first thought would have been like Jarian's a pretty solid option to go to. You're only talking about one
don't forget,
spot.
Jarian Jones never played zone in his life. So if I would expect it to be Monteric over Jarian.
Would you?
Yes, because Monteric's had a really good spring at this point, and he's pretty good in zone. Not real good in man, but pretty good in zone. And they're going to play primarily zone coverages. So I would expect it to be Monteric, but maybe not. Maybe, in training camp things change. But I think they're better equipped with him not on the field offensively than they would be defensively, if that makes any sense, what I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying. You're saying if your option is Parker Washington a better replacement compared to Monteric Brown, right? Basically, I mean, if that's there's going to be one guy at any one given moment that you're going to say, well, that's the guy that we could have on there. Now, again, you're in certain personnel packages. You're in short yardage. You're going to have multiple tight ends on the field.
Right.
You're going to have your big personnel. You might only have one wide receiver in those circumstances, but that's normal for any team.
Right.
In those.
That's what makes this so fun is like we can sit here and banter it around about how they're going to use them. We still have no idea.
No. I mean, why would we have an idea until they actually get out there and do anything, right? Like, none of us even saw him play defense until, a week ago, essentially, right? Like, it's not like we've seen the entire process for what this is going to be. And I do think a lot of it is going to come down to which is he actually better at, if he is better at one or the other, right? Because I do think the trying to figure out where they're more comfortable with him off the field is pretty close. Right, like in my mind, the difference between Parker Washington
to withstand him on offense or defense,
or Monteric Brown, like I don't think there's a big gap between those two necessarily in what you would be getting on the field. I think it likely comes down to where is he better, right? And does he wind up being a better corner or wide receiver, even if it is just a marginal difference, right, between those two things, and that may in the end kind of push them towards okay, then we want to use him more doing this, because this is where he's a little bit more proficient. at least for now. Like, that would make some kind of sense. And, playing off what we just heard Gladstone say, he is a natural corner, right? So there is something we need to get him comfortable with the offense because we need to know. And it makes sense going through an offseason with him saying we need to get him integrated in the offense because we need to know exactly what the plan needs to be when it's time for us to make a real decision on where to play him. We have to have as much information as we can have. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of this he is a little bit better as a corner, especially early on, than he is as a wide receiver. So we have situational stuff we want to play him a wide out, and we have a plan for him to play most of the defense, right? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's where this ultimately lands, especially in light of what we just heard Gladstone say. But I think all of this stuff is and should be written in sand for now, right? Like, whatever the plan is going to be with him, because the options are so wide open with whatever it could wind up being.
And we have to also consider, where do they need him more? Because that may trump where he's better.
For sure.
At this point.
Somebody just said Colorado primarily played man-to-man with some zone mixed in. That may be the case. I think regardless of what defense you're playing, if you didn't have to worry about sharing on the offensive side, Travis Hunter would be no question be on any team's opening day starting lineup as a cornerback, that he's got the ball skills and the reaction skills and the change of direction skills and the anticipation and all these things that make him a potential superstar. That's why you don't go. You didn't take him at number 2 overall just because he can play both ways. He can play both ways at an extremely high level,
I don't know how it's going to look in the NFL and exactly what the Jaguars are going to want to do with him. I thought before he got drafted by the Jaguars, when we were talking about these questions going through the draft process, which side do I think I would likely play him at more? Right? If I was making the decision before I knew it was going to be a decision being made here, I thought he was a corner that would play some wideout. That's what I thought. Going through the draft process, it's when he gets here and they start offense. And now you get the comment, it makes it make sense why it was offense right now. I don't think that makes it any less likely in my mind that he is a corner kind of first that they figure out a way to use on offense. I think that's likely where it's going to land, but who the heck knows?
We cover this every single day, right? I mean, we at least discuss it. It's on our mind to some degree on this show every day, whether it's a deep discussion topic. We're close to it. We follow it. They love the fact that we have no idea. If we don't know what the plan is, certainly somebody in Cincinnati is not going to know what the plan is. And like you said, it's going to change week to week. That's going to be a great, if you're in the right hands, could be a potential amazing chess piece. When I say right hands, Liam Cohen's hands, and how he is going to share him that week with the offensive and defensive side. By the way, got this question from our man Bush Drive Rich on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Wished everybody happy Juneteenth. Said, D-Rock, from what you understand, who would Brenton Strange's primary backup at the tight end position be, in your opinion, this year? Let's say, and I think that Munt and Long have a lot of overlap in their skill sets, but let's say Strange missed 2 weeks. Who do you think the starter is? Do we know that at this point in time?
No, I mean, they're almost the same guy, Munt and Long. I mean, what is it? Munt's probably a little bit better as a pass catcher. I honest to gosh think that it's no different.
Negligible.
Yeah. I mean, who's played well recently? Who's played well in practice that week?
Really, not necessarily one guy, right? Like, there's not necessarily one guy that we're going to be able to point to and say definitively.
No, my guess is, let's say, I don't know what the expectation is on Brenton Strange catching passes. 45 maybe?
What do you have, 40 last year, 41?
Yeah, something like the 45, 50.
Okay.
I mean, I would expect less than 20 catches for the rest of the tight ends combined.
Right.
I mean, so these guys are more blockers anyway. So I would.
They have a type. That's for sure.
I mean, Evan Ingram clearly did not fit in what he likes out of his tight ends, which is why he's now no longer here. But I mean, it's Munt and Long, or like I said, essentially the same guy.
All right, let's step away here, take a timeout. We got another hour to go. When we come back, let's start looking at some of the personnel additions the Jags have made defensively, other than Travis Hunter himself. That's your Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. Asking you, other than Hunter, which all-season personnel move by the Jaguars will be the most impactful for this year? Not necessarily the long term, but for this year. We'll go through the options on defense when we return. Also take a look around the rest of the NFL. Coming up on Jaguars Today here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Feel the downforce of 100 horses.
You see him shaking as he goes down Long Pond straightaway.
This Sunday at Pocono Raceway, NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on 1010XL.
Florida Heat hitting like a heavyweight? Time to call in the champ. KO Electric and HVAC. We knock out the heat and power up your comfort. Fast, reliable, and undefeated in home service. KOElectricJacks.com. KOElectricJacks.com.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Jaguars Today Thursday, brought to you by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Hey, it's Carline here. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise Free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter, and you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor climate-controlled showrooms. It's cool, comfortable, hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at AtlanticInfinity.com.
Hi, folks. Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
What NFL stadium has been used the longest by an NFL team?
Filing an insurance claim following a storm shouldn't be an ordeal. Southern Oak Insurance's claim team prepares for catastrophic situations well in advance. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Green Bay's Lambeau Field has been used by the Packers since 1957, a span of over 60 years.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours. It's a battle for the playoffs as your Sharks take on the first-place Steamwheelers. Catch all the action this Saturday, June 21st at 7. Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Try the new 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 food vouchers, and a $20 Al's Pizza gift card for only $100. Get tickets at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700.
Prosser here. Come cheer on the Sharks as they circle a playoff bid. It's Star Wars Night presented by HCA Florida Healthcare. Dress up in your favorite costume. Get photos with your favorite Star Wars characters before the game. The first 1,000 kids get a free lightsaber. Join us on the field after the game for a free autograph session and special jersey auction. Tickets start at just $15. Call 904-621-0700. That's 904-621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made.
Go Sharks!
To catch more fish, you gotta think like a fish. Captain Kevin and the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services. And Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Thursday nights at 6.
On 1010XL AM.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, Hickett here for my friends at Zero Res. Gang, vacuuming is not sufficient to maintain the cleanliness and lifespan of your carpet, period. Let me repeat, do not leave deep cleaning to yourself, but do it yourself dirt attracting carpet soaking machines. No. Call on the cleaning freaks from Zero Res. Big summer savings. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $129. Take 20% off air duct cleaning as well. Call them, 904-287-5727, and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spelled forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Mia here for Closets by Design. It's been a few months since they built my custom closet, and you know how much I love it. My family is obsessed. With summer here, why not finally create that custom garage workspace you and your dad want? Think tool storage, workbenches, a place for everything to go. Closets by Design creates custom solutions for every space, lifestyle, and budget. That includes all you guys. Call to schedule your free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off. ClosetsByDesign.com.
Denny Thompson here. You gotta check out Tyson's Showroom Home Theater with surround sound and comfy theater chairs. You can transform your living room into a cinematic experience. I could stay there to watch all my games. It's that comfortable. Call Tyson today and bring the theater experience home. Tyson Sound and Security, your security, home theater, and home automation experts. New showroom at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming, Iowa.
Summer in Jacksonville is coming in hot. Lauren Brooks here. Beat the heat with Turbo Tint. Their window tint blocks up to 99% of harmful UV rays and keeps your ride cool and comfortable. Book today at orangepark.turbotint.com.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Florida State's 2025-26 men's basketball schedule is starting to become clearer. John Rothstein announced that the Seminoles had entered into an agreement with the University of Dayton to play a home and home series in 2025 and 2026. According to Rothstein, the Seminoles will travel to UD Arena to play a game on December 16th, 2025. The Flyers will travel to Tallahassee for another matchup in 2026. In the NFL, 5-time Pro Bowl linebacker C.J. Mosley has announced his retirement from the National Football League. Currently 87 degrees at 11 o'clock. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, D-Rock is in the house with us. A little pre-vacation visit with the fellas, and a little time to recharge the batteries, Mike, because when you come back, it won't be long till it'll be back on the regular Thursday spot here. So we look forward to that. Breakfast bowl, you're buying week one.
Week one, I do buy.
Which is awesome. So we all look forward to that as well.
I already bought the box of cereal and gallon of milk that I'm going to bring in.
You already got the milk. All right.
I do.
I like it chunky.
I could go with the box of cereal, Tone. I think those are fine. I worked at Publix in the summers when I was in college, and I go home and I used to, you have an aisle, like I worked like in the morning, like with the stock guys, like 4 a.m. come in and you're responsible for an aisle. And I remember one year they were moving the shelving or replacing it, and they're doing it like aisle by aisle. So it wasn't shut down the whole store. And the cereal aisle, they used to stack up like the top shelf. They'd put the cereal boxes, and then, you don't want to take the back stock to the back and look like you ordered too much. So they're stacking it on top of everything. Mm-hmm. So we found boxes of cereal that had fallen behind, like brands and varieties I'd never heard of. Mm-hmm. Like probably 12 years out of date was the oldest one that we found. But I think of any food product, that might be the one I would eat. Right? If it was, now think about it. Like, what more than cereal, right? It's like super processed, super,
It gets stale, though.
It probably does. But, like, what else would you trust eating 10 years out of date more than cereal? Is there something other than a McDonald's hamburger?
I'm not eating
apparently?
anything 10 years out of it.
But if you had to.
But if I had to.
Yeah.
Probably not anything canned.
Syrup?
Syrup lasts a while.
Honey.
Okay.
Honey is eternal.
Is it?
Yeah, is there a date on that? on honey?
That's what I'm saying. That's got to have a date. If it's something that doesn't go bad
for years in your pantry.
I'm asking. So you'd be down in some 1970s
I'd Winnie the
honey.
Pooh the hell out of that thing.
Right. Like cereal seems harmless. Like, who cares if it's stale?
That's what I'm saying, right?
Like, it's not dangerous.
D-Rock, he cracked himself up. I don't know. I need to put the hell out of that thing, man. Give D-Rock
Honey does not have an expiration date.
Honey does not?
According to Google.
Well, there you go.
So it has antiseptic properties, too.
There you go. You rub it all over yourself, man.
So you put it on the cereal and everything's good to go.
You put it on the cereal, Tony, it brings it back. Okay? I thought I was out. They kept pulling me back in. All right. Hey, look, it's hold it together.
All right, man?
It's the last day of school for D-Rock, right?
I think Don Rickles just told a joke.
He's trying Don Rickles. I'm surprised you know who that is.
Man, that's my guy.
Man, wow, that is we got to explore that at a later date.
Yes, we do.
You know, Tony, you got some content when I'm on vacation next week. All right, let's get to Jaguar defensive personnel additions. Like, somebody meme this up, please. All right.
D-Rock has tears in his eyes for people that are listening on the radio.
Get a picture of D-Rock with a big spoon and just a big old overflowing jar of honey, saying, I'd Winnie the Pooh the hell out of that thing. That's what I need right now. Some meme maker out there, please do send how about this? T-shirt. For you of some kind, if it's really good, if you send us a really good one, is it worth a Victory Monday shirt? We got leftovers. we had plenty of extra Victory Monday shirts left over. I need a meme of D-Rock going to town on the honey. This is ridiculous. Oh, man, the things that'll amuse us. All right, D-Rock, a question for you on the text line.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm going to bring it back. No,
I got it.
We're bringing it back to reality here.
I'm fine.
Okay. Somebody said, I hate the offseason, LOI. You know what? We understand. Totally get it. D-Rock almost had his drink come out of his nose just a second ago. This is fantastic. No, I hear you, brother. Offseason, we tend to stretch our legs a little bit. D-Rock, somebody asked, are there any seasoned vets on the street that you would look at signing, or you think the Jags might look at signing before training camp?
No, I don't think so. They've talked before about, I think it was even back at the end of free agency heading into the draft, that they're like, hey, we want to use some of these young guys. We've got to get these young guys up to speed. What are you looking at me like?
I'm sorry, man.
What are you doing? I'm trying to be serious.
I know
here.
you were. I tried.
I'm going to turn this way.
All right.
And be like, okay.
Bring it back. Your thought, please.
Yeah.
Continue.
They unless they have some sort of an injury during camp, I don't expect them to be bringing in any veteran guys there. They've got to restock this roster, and they want to look at these young guys. But that makes sense.
In the last several weeks, they went out and got Dwan Smoot and Dennis Gardeck, right? So is that an indication that they're not seeing that we gave some of these young guys, like they said before the draft, are you going to be looking to add a pass rusher, right? Well, we don't want to limit any of the young guys from having opportunities. So they waited. That opportunity didn't present itself. The value wasn't there.
They had Ogba in the pocket.
And they had Ogba in the pocket, right? But had it gone a different way, we heard Ashton Galati out of Louisville was the guy they had their eye on, maybe. So if they're sitting there and they have a chance to get him with the 70th pick, maybe they go that way and the draft's completely different, and maybe they don't sign Ogba. But they did. But then you had Josh Hines Allen, you had Trayvon, you had Ogba. So we're like, coming along here. And then they add Smoot, they add Gardeck. Is this an indication to you that they're looking for guys like Miles Cole or Yasir Abdul to show them something, and they're not seeing that?
Correct. Yeah, I don't expect Miles Cole to make the roster, the 53-man roster this year. I quite frankly was stunned that he made the 53-man roster last year.
He's the bulky pick.
Well, and the rationale for keeping him was, you don't see guys that size with those long arms.
He does have that, the measurables.
Well, every team in the draft passed on him a minimum of 4 times. I mean, you're looking at it's a 7th-round pick. I mean, you could have got him back. Nobody is scooping up Miles Cole, at the end of 2024 training camp. You could have got him back on the practice squad, but, whatever there. I just don't think they're looking for guys right now. Do Are they aware of guys that are around and available? Yeah, and they've probably got a list of guys that they're going to call if, Dwan Smoot, hamstring or something in camp. But I don't think they're actively searching for guys to add right now.
Those pieces may have been like, okay, let's get these on the roster now, get them in, give them the playbook.
And they hadn't seen McLeod and Cole and Abdullah yet. So let's not forget that.
No, I understand.
So then you get in the
camp,
you
get your OTAs.
And you're like, all right, we need somebody.
Yeah.
So, and there's some familiarity, obviously, with Smoot, so that made sense.
A lot of people think Agba is going to be the most impactful, just overall most impactful addition that they've made. Here are the candidates. Tell me if I'm missing anybody candidate-wise here. Okay, I don't think Smoot or Gardeck is going to be more impactful than Agba, right? So I'll put Agba among the front four in terms of personnel additions.
These are the defensive additions.
Okay? In the linebacker core, I mean, Kaiser, McLeod, I'd be surprised if one of the what is your take on where Kaiser stands right now and what the vision for him in his rookie season might be?
The vision would be big-time contributor on special teams, core four guy.
Do you think they ultimately see him as a
replacement for Chad Muma?
For Muma.
For Muma.
Okay.
Yes, because that's the role that they have Muma in now. Core special teams guy. Now, this is just rookie year. I'm talking.
Right. But I'm saying, like, even beyond this year, Devin Lloyd's fifth-year option not picked up.
He'll be a regular player on defense, I would expect, next year, 26.
Okay.
But for his rookie year, I expect him to be a core special teams guy and sort of fill in at linebacker as needed. If he develops quicker or he starts making more plays, in camp and preseason, then maybe that could change. But I think right now that's their plan for him going in.
All right, Tony, I would put Agba ahead of any of those linebackers. Agree
I would too.
with that?
Yep.
All right, so interesting names in the secondary, though. Eric Murray we're expecting to start at strong safety, right?
Yes.
Jordan Lewis is your nickel corner. It certainly appears that way. And
can play outside if he has to.
Absolutely. Caleb Bransall was your second pick. He's the highest draft pick that's eligible for this question to be considered today. So you got him, and those are probably the three you're really looking at there. If you had to pick one out of that group, Tone, who do you think is the most impactful for the Jags this year?
I would pick Jordan Lewis.
Okay.
And I do think being the third corner, or if he's going to be the guy playing on the opposite side of Tyson Campbell at times, I do think third corner is a starter in today's NFL, as we talk about a lot. And we talked about this yesterday or on Tuesday. Attitude. Like, there is something about
He's got an edge.
Right. They just don't have that coming from a lot of places on the entire roster. And Jordan Lewis, that's his reputation, his attitude. Like, he's the guy that is in the guy in front of his head from the snap. The opening snap, that's what he talks and talks and talks and talks. And guys that have played against him are like, I just wanted him to shut up. Like, we've seen guys talking about that kind of, they haven't had that here in Jacksonville. I think if I had to pick one of those guys, it would be Lewis.
What about you?
Yeah, it's between Lewis and Agba.
What? All right.
For me.
Before you finish that thought, are we just overlooking like Eric Murray totally? Is it just because, that like he comes from the Texans and people are like, I'm not good. I just don't understand. I mean, it seems like he's going to play more than any of these guys.
Right. I think he's got the potential to be a true steadying influence for what they do in a secondary that was all chaos last year. That's all it was. Like, I think he's at least one guy who's going to know where he's supposed to be and be there.
Which is, let's not overlook that.
No.
Because that was a massive issue last year.
Blown coverage after blown. I mean, it's not just been a one-year issue either. It's been an issue.
No. But, like, their pass rush has been so bad outside of the top two last year, or last 2 years, that everything he said about Jordan Lewis is spot on. Absolutely. I totally agree with it. And I just put Agba just slightly ahead because he's going to give them some kind of pass rush presence outside of those other two. And, he'll also, we talked about last year, Armstead playing outside. Oh, that'll allow Trayvon to kick inside. Well, they didn't do that a ton, and Armstead really didn't give him much outside. But I think Agba does give them that ability to give them something outside and slide Trayvon inside at times. So I just give a minuscule edge to Agba.
I think, for the responses we've gotten, there are a lot of responses on offense, right? Lewis and Agba are the two most frequent ones we've gotten on defense. I don't know if anyone's mentioned Eric Murray, and he may play more snaps than either one of those guys.
He may never leave the field.
Right. I mean, basically.
He should play more snaps than either.
Is Antonio Johnson pushing him at all from what you can tell? I know it's hard to tell in the offseason, but.
The expectation is he is locked in at starter.
They got him for a specific reason.
I would be stunned if he got beat out. Now, again, if Antonio Johnson plays like freaking Jamal Adams back there, then maybe. But
who's the most likely free safety? Savage, Ransaw, Wingard.
Wingard to start.
Me too. That's what I think too. Just based on the buzz.
Every time, man, people kind of write him off.
He finds the ball.
He would have been the starter last year, and I'm not saying if he had been on the field for the 9 or 8 games that he was not there, that they wouldn't have lost a bunch of those games.
Right.
But I'm gonna say that there wouldn't have been as many blown coverages.
I agree.
By far, he would have shored that up. Is
I
he a
agree. I think he's had
I don't
one
know,
of the
but he's a smart kid and he's where he's supposed to be.
Yeah. Helmets and heels. Mia was out, but Taylor and Lauren did a stock up, stock down, kind of based on their observations of the offseason so far. And Taylor went stock up Caleb Ransaw, and Lauren went stock up Ender Wingard. I agreed with that. I think there's been some buzz. I feel, I'm not out there quite as much as you are, but I made it to every open practice that allowed with the Jaguars Today schedule, and Dewey gets his hands on the football, man.
He does.
He's around the football a lot.
Tough kid, and he brings some of that attitude.
He
that
does.
Tony's talking about with Jordan Lewis too. So, and let's not forget, Ransaw is not a safety yet. I mean,
correct,
you know
but
what I mean? He was
that's
a
their
corner.
vision, though.
That's their vision for him, but it's not just as easy as, hey, you're a safety now.
Right.
Here's what you got to do.
All right, so I tend to agree. Agba, Lewis, Agba. Your biggest impact is going to come from one of those guys on the defensive side. When we come back, Tony will take us around the league. Then we'll look at some of the offensive additions, not named Travis Hunter. He's an addition across the board, but there are a lot on the offensive side that
Can argue a bunch of guys.
You absolutely could. I mean, a bunch of guys here. Many more on that side of the ball. So we'll do that when we return. Hit us up with your responses on the Checkbank Coatings phone lines or the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, or just hop on Twitter and reply to today's Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day, asking you other. Oh no!
Is there someone sending me?
No, that's not Tony. That's not D-Rock, is it? Is that? Oh no! Oh no! I don't think that's you, Mike. But yes, they're working hard for that T-shirt
And
right
no one
now.
tagged me in anything.
No, they. I don't know if they want you to see that right there. I'll show you on the break. You can check it. I don't think
we
that's
have
you.
Jumped the shark.
I don't know if that's AI. I don't know if he thinks that guy looks like you, but he is enjoying his honey. There's no question about it. All right, we'll come back and dig into the offensive additions to the Jacksonville Jaguars roster, not named Travis Hunter, and which one we think was likely to make the biggest 2025 impact. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Mike DeRocco, and Dylan Denmark here with you. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting. Love these local companies. Apex, right out of Jacksonville Beach. They know rainy season's no joke around these parts. You should as well if you've been around for any period of time in Duval. If your roof's got damage, leaks, if it's just plain worn out, do not wait. Apex is local. They're dependable. They're going to show up on time with only the most premium materials and ironclad warranties. You can trust Apex, so reach for the peak. That's Apex Roofing and Contracting right here in Jacksonville Beach and online at apexroofingfl.com.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Hi, I'm Austin Cindric.
Austin Cindric, the winner of the Daytona 500.
1010XL, Jack Sports Radio.
Call 904-500-COOL. Ideal Conditions.
Ideal Conditions Heating and Air Conditioning is your go-to for all AC repairs and replacements. Just ask your AC. For exceptional service, call 904-500-COOL or visit idealconditionsjacks.com to schedule your estimate today.
Call 904-500-COOL.
Honk if you see us. Call for service.
Ideal conditions.
Idealconditionsjacks.com.
Tired of a plain and boring backyard? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop choice to beautify your home. With pavers, stonework, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, pergolas, and driveways. Visit stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
The NBA playoffs are here, and there's no better place to catch the action than Hurricane Grill and Wings. With slam dunk specials like $3.75 Miller Lite drafts, plus fresh, never frozen wings in over 30 flavors, and big screens everywhere. This is your home for all the games. Handcrafted cocktails, bold flavors, big plays. Don't just watch the games, experience them at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
Jaguars Today Thursday is towed by Cannons of Jacksonville for all your towing needs.
Spring has sprung, and so have the bugs. It's Hayes Carline and my friends at Kingfish Pest Control offer an exclusive $99 spring special. That's right, your initial pest control service is just $99. And if you call today, they'll include a free one-time mosquito treatment. Kingfish Pest Control is family-owned, 5-star rated with no binding contracts, and 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call them now to book your service. Only at Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Eye & Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Coliber lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
If you miss an interview, it'll be waiting for you on demand.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Search where you find podcasts. And at 1010XL.com. Trained by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out The Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At The Y, summer camps every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited, and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
Cannonball!
Honey, someone's in our pool.
Oh, refreshing.
watching.
John, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. Seeing as how me and the guys at Clearwater Irrigation reinstalled your sprinklers after the pool contractor ripped it out, I thought you wouldn't mind if I took a quick dip.
But in a Jaguar print Speedo?
Yeah, Dave. My bad. Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage, too.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coating. Pool decks, driveways, garages, patios, we coat them all to make your neighbors jealous.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
We need to poo the hell out of that thing.
Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Yeah, buddy. I don't know. This might be the only one we get in, but Lewis sent in a fine shot. Is that your face that he worked out? I think he did, right? That's you. He kind of superimposed
like
on some dude who probably could stand to hit the gym. Just basically that honey's just dripping right on down. And he is going to town on it right there. So that could be worth a shirt. We'll see if somebody tops it for the end of the show. If not, Dylan will reach out to Lewis and we'll give him the shirt of his choice. I did discover, I was in the prize closet not that long ago. We got shirts in there from shows that don't even exist anymore on 1010XL. So you could be retro. You could be really cool and wear a throwback.
I'm this old.
Yes. I remember when.
Right. Like the only one of those that I would be really interested in if it was back there was a Running with MJD.
Oh,
right.
My wife still rocks the Running with MJD from back in the day.
I wonder was back there.
I wonder if we got it. I doubt we have any of those.
I doubt it.
We had they were just the gray ones that we had.
Yep.
But yeah, Running with MJD, those were pretty cool.
Let's go in there afterwards. Let me grab a couple of shirts in there.
We'll see. We'll outfit you in a bunch of shows that don't exist anymore for sure. We'll get you a good honey eating shirt. That way if you spill on it, it'll be fine. You just take it off and throw it in the wash.
Like a bib.
Like a bib, exactly. So you can go check that out right now. Doom retweeted it for all your viewing pleasure.
DJ Dell said he sent us something. He's at work right now. I knew he'd send us something.
He did send us, or he's going to?
He said he's going to.
Okay. All right. Well, DJ Dell, I'm at work right now, but I'll send you something in.
Got to be by the end of the show, right?
DJ Delphonic would have had a shirt, like a Victory Monday shirt by now, but maybe not.
Maybe.
We didn't get that many away, Tony. We didn't have too many opportunities.
No, we didn't.
We were trying to hoard them a little bit. Like, I don't want to give them all away.
4.
What?
Right? You only gave away 4 last year, right?
No, well, we gave away more than one.
Yeah. It was about 25.
Yeah, something
like
that.
5 or 6 every show.
Yeah, so we're like, we don't want to go crazy and run out by mid-season. Yeah.
0-4.
All right. Before we go through offensive additions personnel additions that could impact the Jags in a positive way in 2025, Tony Smith will tell you what's happening around the NFL.
Now, Gems Around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
The Houston Texans have signed cornerback Damon Arnett, who has been out of the league for several years while dealing with legal issues. On June 10th, a Colorado federal judge ordered Arnett to pay more than $78,000 to a dancer who said he assaulted her at a March 2023 house party. Arnett was accused of striking the woman and smashing her head into the ground. Arnett was released in November of 2021 by the Raiders, who spent a first-round pick on him after playing a combined 13 games over his first 2 years while facing a lawsuit for an alleged hit and run after a video surfaced of Arnett making death threats while brandishing firearms. He was released by Kansas City in January of 2022 after he was jailed in Las Vegas on 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, carrying or concealing a gun without a permit, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of marijuana or cannabis. The case was dropped by the Clark County District Attorney's Office, but in May 2023, a grand jury indicted Arnett on assault with a deadly weapon and firearm-related charges related to that incident. Arnett agreed to a plea deal. In July 2022, Arnett was arrested in Miami on charges of possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, and driving with a suspended license. In January January 2024. Arnett was arrested and charged with possession of less than a gram of meth and unlawful carrying of a firearm in Richardson, Texas. The Texans have already said that they have no comment regarding Arnett's legal history. According to police records, Cleveland rookie Shedeur Sanders was cited by police in the early hours of Tuesday morning while driving 101 miles per hour in a 60-mile-per-hour zone. The citation comes with a $250 fine, or he can appeal the ticket. Baltimore has signed cornerback Jair Alexander to a one-year, $4 million deal that could be worth up to $6 million with incentives. New York Giants head coach Brian Daboll said yesterday that wide receiver Malik Neighbors, who has set out the team's OTAs in minicamp with a toe injury, is doing fine and expected to be good to go for training camp. An 11-year NFL vet and 5-time Pro Bowler linebacker C.J. Mosley has announced his retirement from the National Football League.
And Arnett missed 3 years. Mike Vick missed 2, and it seemed like an eternity, right? And he came back, and that first year back, they sprinkled him in a little bit in Philadelphia. And then he played at a near MVP level the next season. Was phenomenal for the 12 games he did play. Was a Pro Bowler that year.
Yeah.
It's tough to come back with 3 years off, man. I don't care.
That's a long time.
How young you are in the National Football League. So good luck with that. And if I were the Texans, I wouldn't want to comment about his legal history either.
No, thank you.
So, all right. Let's do this. Let's take our final timeout right here. We'll come back. We'll rip through these offensive additions so we can do them justice here, so we don't just get 1 or 2 in and hit a quick break. And then we'll look at the responses we got to the Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. Which personnel addition will make the biggest impact for the Jags this year? Not named Travis Hunter. We're not talking about front office. We're not talking about coaching staff. We're talking about players or move, as we put it. And many people have put the move of Eric Armstead from defensive end to defensive tackle. That's fine. We'll discuss what we think is the biggest one on offense, and does it top the Agba or Lewis addition on defense? We'll get to that when we come back in a moment. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Bring in the heat. Your station for summertime fun. 1010XL, your summertime fun station. Jaguars Today for the renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
Just when you thought we couldn't bring you more, Keon Atlantic is here with a brand new store. We have the same great team to treat you well. With new savings during our grand opening sale. Keon Atlantic is here with the new store. Shop our best offers and largest selection yet. Save big during our grand opening sale. Is there something for everyone on our lot? You bet. If you're ready to experience something new, the all-new Keon Atlantic is ready for you. Your perfect ride is a visit away. Online at KeonAtlantic.com. Keon Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection.
Firehouse Subs has fries. Your hometown hero since '94 just cranked up the heat. Hot subs, crispy fries, golden, pillowy on the inside, and perfectly seasoned. Over 30 Jacksonville locations. Firehouse Subs, homegrown and now with fries.
Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When you need help with any plumbing, septic, or AC issue, just give us a call and relax. We'll send one of our first-round draft picks to tackle your problems today. DuckDuckRooter.com. That's DuckDuckRooter.com.
Jaguars Today, Thursday, is brought to you by
Cannons of Jacksonville.
Power bill just went up again? Why keep paying more? Clay Solar can wipe that electric bill out. Right now, they'll cover your first 6 months' payments. Visit claysolar.com today to schedule your free consultation. claysolar.com.
What is the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth? The answer next.
There's always a good reason to compare homeowners' insurance rates. You may be paying too much. Protect your home with a Southern Oak insurance policy today.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The coldest temperature ever recorded was in Antarctica in July of 1983. An unbelievably cold minus 128.6 degrees.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Go ahead and dial it. Dial what? When you call in your opinion or hear an interesting interview from a sports insider on Jaguars Today or XL Primetime, you're getting it straight from the Checkmate Coatings phone line all day, every day on 1010XL.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to i9sports.com with summer and fall registration open right now, including girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 for a discount.
It's a battle for the playoffs as your Sharks take on the first place Steamwheelers. Catch all the action this Saturday, June 21st at 7. Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Try the new 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 food vouchers, and a $20 Al's Pizza gift card for only $100. Get tickets at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700.
Prosser here. Come cheer on the Sharks as they circle a playoff bid. It's Star Wars night presented by HCA Florida Healthcare. Dress up in your favorite costume. Get photos with your favorite Star Wars characters before the game. The first 1,000 kids get a free lightsaber. Join us on the field after the game for a free autograph session and special jersey auction. Tickets start at just $15. Call 904-621-0700. That's 904-621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made.
Go Sharks! Hey, Hicken here, and you know I'm going to talk about skin. Yeah, it's hot outside, folks. The oven is on. Temps are in the 90s, and it's only getting hotter. I love the summer, but my skin doesn't. I do my best with dry fit shirts, big floppy hats, plenty of water. My secret weapon, though, the sunscreen. I use it regularly. Maybe you should as well. Look, I've also been seeing docs at Beaches Dermatology for years, and my skin thanks me for it. I'm telling you, it could save your life. Book your appointment today at beachesdermatology.com.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Zero Res. They want to help you clean your home or business. Big summer savings with 3 rooms clean starting at $129 and 20% off your air duct cleaning. Call them 904-287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Man, you got a lot of namesakes out there doing damage, D-Rock. All right. Yeah. We got somebody just Googling all the scofflaw Michael DeRocco's out there. Got a guy arrested on felony gun charges. Got a couple of obituaries. The obits actually kind of look like him.
They do. They do.
Right? Got to admit.
I'm like, we all look alike.
And he also dug up, are we still using this D-Rock thumbnail somehow? Like
I used it once on the on the interview, remember?
Did you? Yeah.
It's like from 2012.
D-Rock's got some luscious, thick black hair in that one, man. You looking handsome. Handsome.
Well, I wouldn't
my
go
man.
that far.
I know.
It is some luscious black hair.
It is that. All right, let's roll through these offensive additions so we don't run out of time, and it's always my fault when we do. All right. Where do you want to start? Let's start offensive line, right? I mean, Wyatt Milam, right?
Yep.
3rd-round pick, could start right out of the gates. Hainsey, show everybody what, here's what Liam Cole wants in this offense as a steady hand who's been in that offense to some degree. It didn't start for him last year, but he was there.
Right.
Patrick McCarry, right, who can play in a bunch of spots on the line. De'Ami Brown. For sure. I mean, De'Ami Brown, to me, might have been the guy I was most surprised with and maybe I shouldn't be because in that setting in OTAs and minicamps, your receivers and your corners are going to stand out more than anything, right? But he got tons of targets, I thought, throughout the offseason. Running back room, right? Bajal Tootin, LaQuint Allen, either one of those guys. Tony, who jumps off the page at you if one does above the others?
If I was going to pick one, I would probably go McCary with my pick. Given his flexibility, I think he could start at either guard spot or in a pinch. He could play left or right tackle or center for him. He can play all 5 spots along the offensive line. He's going to start somewhere along that offensive line this year. We're just not sure where exactly that's going to be at this point, but that would be the one that I would pick.
Michael?
I'm going to cheat a little collectively a little bit.
Okay.
The 6 offensive linemen they brought in, because that clearly was the biggest weakness that they identified on this team. But if I have to pick one guy, I think I would pick McCarry as well. So there's not a lot of, variety here between Tony and I, but look, on the second day on the job, James Gladstone at his media opportunity in Indianapolis at the Combine talked about setting the dish, and allowing Trevor Lawrence to step into throws without the pressure in his face from the interior of the offensive line. So clearly, on the second day of his job, he's mentioning that. That is the biggest weakness that stood out to them. So addressing the biggest weakness, to me, is the most important thing. So if I have to pick one guy, Macari, and if I can cheat a little, I'm just going to go the collective 6 offensive linemen that they brought in.
Bro, I'm the guy who invented 9 guys in his top 5 on Tuesday. So I did, who am I to point the finger of cheating at anybody on a daily question here? Fred Johnson, Chuma Edoga, D-Rock. Which guy is likely to make the bigger impact for this team? If one of those guys is going to steal a starting job in training camp, do you think it's Johnson or do you think it's Edoga?
Right now, I would think the better chance is Edoga because he's been working at right tackle, sharing some time with Anton, and then we've got Liam Cohen saying when Anton wants to go, he can go.
We haven't talked with you about that since that comment was made. Is that the quote of the offseason in some ways in terms of Liam Cohen talking about the guys that he has had a chance now to coach on the practice field?
Yeah, they're trying to light a fire under Anton. Look, he was I actually write about this in one of the stories that are coming up in a couple of weeks. Guys that have a lot to prove. He was marginally better in his second year. Pass block win rate, run block win rate, roughly the same. And they expected him to take a bigger jump than that, and he didn't. And when you've got that new head coach who has no allegiance to you, along with the new GM who didn't take you, trying to light a fire under your rear end. Now, maybe that's all that is just trying to get Anton to pick it up, and they really have no intention of starting Edoga there. Mm-hmm. But, boy, that was a pretty pointed comment.
I thought so, too.
And I think it's a message that Anton needs to come back into training camp, and he needs to pick it the heck up.
And I think it also speaks, Tony, to they believe he can, right? Yeah. Like, you're not going to single out a guy that you think, well, this guy's probably going to lose this battle. I think they think that in a world where everyone is fully motivated and on their A game, that he's the best option that they have.
Right. And I think there is something there's an expectation that comes with the perception, right, of a player going from year 1 to year 2 and the expected step forward. And when a player doesn't take that, as you just mentioned, the stats are about the same. And as someone that was just watching it happen, it felt like he got worse, right? Because he was worse than what I expected it to be. Right. So it felt like he took a step back. And in reality, he was basically the same player as he was his rookie year.
Completely healthy last year as opposed to his rookie year. Right. At shoulder.
Like, it's just a weird thing that happens with perception meeting reality. In some of these situations, it's not that he got worse last year. He just didn't get better, and we're all like, what happened? Right? Like, that's the whole thing with Anton at this point. So it's not a big surprise that he would be the one that would be circled. When do you expect a guy like Wyatt Milam, who I think is going to get the opportunity to compete for a starting job going into training camp, when could we expect that he would be a starter for this football team?
We'll get a better idea. I think we'd get a better idea of that once we get into camp and we see the full contact practices.
Sure.
And we see preseason games.
Is my man just bulldozing some people? Right. I mean, that's what they think he is.
Right. And he's one of those play to maybe a half second after the echo of the whistle, which you got to have. You need those guys. I mean, how many times have we talked about? They've got 3 of those guys on this roster right now from people I've spoken with inside the organization. Macari's that way, Hainsey's that way, and Milam is that way. And, I mean, great. You needed to fix the interior of that offensive line. Those are 3 guys that you could probably put in there and have that done.
Injection of attitude.
Yeah, and they need that without question. So I don't want to say, I'd expect him to be the starter by week 3. Let's see how he does in camp.
But clearly they drafted him to be a starter sooner rather than later.
Yeah, they're not looking at Ezra Cleveland as, hey, he's a 6-year guy here. He's going to be here. He's our left guard for the next 6 years. No.
It's interesting. McManus really seems to like Ezra Cleveland a good bit.
He's a good player.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's interesting because I do think they want to be more of a physical gap scheme, kind of move people offensive, as opposed to, be able to pull your guards and get guys out on the edge and run that zone attack. Of course,
got to be able to do both.
Got the running backs in this equation as well, which I think by midseason, if it goes the way it did with Bucky Irving last year, we're going to look back and say, it should have been Tootin as our vote here. But, Dylan, if we could, let's get to today's 10-10 take, and I'll weigh in on this one.
10-10
take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
I feel like you guys stole the thunder a little bit, but it's fine. I mean, you give an honest answer, and I would go with Macari over everybody on defense as well. I think he's my answer for the entirety of this question. For a lot of Tony laid it out very well. The versatility as much as anything. I think it doesn't really matter. Is he going to be the right guard? No, probably. But could he be the left guard? Sure. I mean, he's almost interchangeable at a number of spots, which is obviously something that they liked about him. The contract indicates. I wonder if we're not overlooking the impact of Hainsey as a center with a new offense, helping out a young quarterback. But I think I'd go Macari 1, De'Ami Brown number 2. On this. Even with the addition of Travis Hunter in the mix, I just really have liked what I've seen from him. When they signed him, they don't know they're going to be able to trade up for Travis Hunter, right? That they're looking at him like, Brian Thomas is our 1, De'Ami Brown's going to be our 2. $10 million is not chump change on a 1-year deal. Guys like that usually get like half that. So they clearly prioritize bringing him in, and nothing we've seen in terms of the frequency of how often the ball went to him this offseason indicates anything other than he's going to be a big part of this passing game. Hainsey, this is tough because I think Tootin could be a guy who takes over the backfield by midseason and then is one of your primary offensive weapons, maybe second only to Brian Thomas in the second half of the year. But for now, I'll go with you guys on Macari as number 1. You agree with that overall over Jordan Lewis and Agba as well?
Yeah.
I would. We got a lot of different answers on this. Scott said the addition of De'Ami Brown makes our wide receiver room pretty formidable. Jags forever, Joe Jags, Robert Hainsey, anchor, middle of that offensive line. Code Blue, Wyatt Milam. I believe he'll be a starter right away at left guard and have a major impact. Spider Jack said if moving Eric Armstead from end to defensive tackle counts as a personnel move, that's where my vote goes. I mean, these are just right down the line in order. Haven't had any repeats yet. Andrew goes Jordan Lewis, brought in not just to play corner, but to define the attitude of the defense. Zachary cheated like you, the overall additions to the offensive line, right? But I mean, like everything is, and then it starts to repeat. Hainsey, Brown, Lewis, Armstead back to defensive tackle, Lewis, Agba. So hopefully a lot of this, only 1 or 2 for Macari other than here on the panel. But I just think it's the nature of the position a little bit too. Guard, you're out of sight, out of mind. If you don't screw up, nobody really talks about you.
It's all projection at this point with all this stuff, right? And De'Ami Brown is a really hot name right now. Well, we're in a portion of the offseason where somebody at a skill position is going to be the hot name. Right? Like, that's the guy that's going to be featured the run game's not going to be featured. They can't hit anybody. Right? So it's going to be somebody in the passing game. So I'm not surprised that De'Ami Brown is grabbing eyes necessarily at this point in the offseason. I think that's a typical thing to do. I'm probably the biggest wait and see on De'Ami Brown among anyone. And part of that is I haven't been out at practice all that. It's just I haven't seen it personally, so I know everyone's very excited about it and reacting to it, and I can understand why, but I try to temper it because I can remember there's been several off seasons where we've been excited about whoever, Dede Westbrook, Laviska Shenault, whoever it happens to be in an off season. Like, have you seen them out there? They're killing guys, right? Like
Joshua Cephas is going to be the X factor.
Like, these kind of things happen. I'm not saying that De'Ami Brown's not going to be way more productive than I thought he might be when they signed him. Right? Like, I leave that open as a real distinct possibility for the team, but it's hard to tell on the offensive line who's going to fit in where. Like, you can't say for sure who the 2 starting guards are going to be for this football team at this point. I think McCary's going to be one of them, but I don't know about the other one. So who knows exactly where all these things are going to land. I think there's going to be a real opportunity for De'Ami Brown. I think the opportunities you've seen for him at this point are way broader than what they will actually be when the real thing starts happening with the football team. It's a big role right now. I think it shrinks as we get closer to the season. That's what I think happens, but I can understand the excitement right now.
Yeah, you might be right. I just think he's looked good. You know, like for
sure.
a guy that you're like, we've seen this play out before. And you're right, it is the offseason, so guys, at that position do tend to look good because you can only defend them to a certain degree. By the way, Dylan, I don't know if you're on the text line. DJ Delphonic says he doesn't need a shirt. He's just going to make a meme out of D-Rock for the love of the game, which is nice. But you might want to check out the last one we got in, Dylan, a moment ago from the 407.
Mean.
D-Rock, you're in the pool.
God.
You're in the pool down at the state. Is that where's that? Is that that looks like
the stadium is flooded.
Is that?
Yeah, it's not here.
Right. Is that UF?
It's like an Olympic pool or something somewhere.
I don't know, but
I can stand up in an Olympic pool.
But it seems like you've spilled a little of that honey on yourself in this photo. So
no job, guys. Like y'all got nothing else to do at 11:45 on a what day is it? A Thursday?
That's what they ask me when I'm at the driving range at 1 p.m. every day. Like,
no job. Huh?
What is this guy doing, man?
All right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, the Always Sunny reference. It looks like D-Rock is the greased up watermelon they threw in the pool.
Oh no, Dylan, if you don't mind, you can reach out to the 407 right there, and if they don't mind coming by to pick it up, we'll give them a T-shirt as well. But
all right, 10-4.
Unless you're going to mail it to them,
negative,
Dylan. All right, so it'll be available at the counter for the next 30 days. All right, before we wrap up with Mike DiRocco here, let's welcome in Helmets and Heels.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Good morning, Lauren Brooks.
Aloha.
How are you?
I'm fabulous, thanks. You?
Aloha means goodbye. And a hello as well.
I've heard honey's good with pineapple.
Is it?
I've heard.
Have you heard that?
I don't know. D-Rock, is it?
Tell us. Connoisseur of honey, Mike DiRocco. You probably missed it, Lauren. It's really not worth recapping.
I did. I was in a meeting. I'm so sad.
That's fantastic.
You consider yourself lucky.
You don't need to know this.
Consider yourself lucky. It's off season. It's peak off season content is what we had today.
I understand that. I live in that world now as well. By the way, I heard Dylan yesterday say that there's no chance that I could beat him in a race. So I guess we need to set something up.
Oh, wow.
100 meters. Anything to change the subject. Absolutely. Let's go.
In a pool. I'm racing him 100. I'm racing him 100 meters in a pool.
Could you? Are you?
I swam competitively when I was younger. Dylan, how about you? Did you ever swim?
I had a pool in the backyard. So
okay,
yeah,
so I think I got him.
I'm going to say no.
He got me on foot. I'll get him in the pool.
Was it above ground or below ground?
It was below ground.
Wasn't? Okay.
Mike was asking that question thinking that it was above ground.
I had an above ground pool because, we weren't exactly rolling in the dough when I was a kid, man. We got a secondhand above ground pool, and it was fantastic for that
leak, it doesn't matter.
1 or 2 summers that it lasted back in the day. So, by the way, I did ask ET yesterday, Dylan, you versus ET in 100 meters. He said, oh, no question now. I asked him what his personal best was in the 100. He thought it was something in the 12s. And I said, my man was going to have you covered anyway. What was your personal best?
11.6.
11.6.
Into a headwind.
Well,
he laughed.
Yes.
With sand in his pockets
without
as
sand.
well.
Man, come on. This was electronically timed. This wasn't me, This wasn't Billy from the West Side telling me this.
It wasn't Billy from the West Side with his sundial out.
This was at Episcopal High School.
Excellent. All right. Only the finest timing issues over at Episcopal. What's coming up today, Lauren?
We'll talk a little football.
Will you?
Yeah, we'll talk some basketball. We'll talk baseball. All the things.
All the sports.
Yeah. We like to branch out.
Hey, it's a sports show. What are you going to do?
That's right.
All right. LB and Helmets and Heels coming up next. And please do save the network.
And we'll talk some honey.
And,
I don't know why.
Mike DiRocco.
I thought we were good, Lauren.
I don't know why.
I really did.
Like,
He's sticking around.
Talk about honey.
All right. Have a great show. Appreciate
Thank
you. D-Rock, have a good vacation. All kidding aside. We love having you in, and then we wouldn't treat you this poorly if we didn't love you. So
that tracks.
That's generally how it goes.
Yeah,
all right. So number one thing you're looking forward to, just getting away, or is there any activity you're particularly
the
looking
number
forward
one thing
to?
I'm looking forward to is
Spending
shutting
time
the
with
laptop
my wife.
and not having to open it or take it with me whenever I go anywhere in the car, just in case something happens.
Total social media blackout for you?
No. I mean, I'll still probably check Twitter and Facebook and, stuff like that and see what's going on in the world, but I'm not going to be scrolling a lot.
Right on, brother. Well, enjoy your time off. Well-deserved. We'll see you back around training camp time at the end. And I guess what Jags announced they're going to have the joint practices with Miami during the preseason. I think it's the 21st. Right, yeah.
21st.
They'll be down there the 21st of August. And I think that's about it for today. That's going to do it. Any final thought there, Tony Smith?
No, I'm good.
All right. Everybody get out there and get your honey. Get your honey on. Go full Winnie the Pooh on it. Mike DeRocco, ladies and gentlemen, is signing off. That'll do it for us today. Helmets and Heels coming up next. For D-Rock, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Tom McManus will be within the studio walls tomorrow. Yes. I don't know where I was headed with that. So Tom McManus will be on the show tomorrow, and so will we, hopefully. We'll talk to you then on 1010XL 92.5 FM.